Hey guys, we're Bree and Steven, and today we're going to be talking about Instagram marketing tips for photographers that you can start implementing in your business right now.
So in our Facebook group, the number one question that we get asked all the time is how to use Instagram to market your business and to book clients. So today we're going to be telling you guys some super easy, super simple tips that you guys can implement right now to start getting more bookings through Instagram.
And just to give you guys some background, it is the first week of April and we've already had over 100 wedding inquiries this year, and 90% of them have come straight from Instagram, so we're excited to share these with you. Let's get started.
So the first tip that we have for you guys is to have a beautiful and attractive feed. When someone clicks on your profile, you have a few seconds to impress them. So the best thing that you can do is to have something that's very consistent. It's straight to the point. They know what you do. They know what you photograph. So if you want to do weddings, show weddings. If you want to do elopements, post elopements. Try not to do like a mix of like families and boudoir and weddings and commercial stuff, like all that kind of stuff, because your ideal client wants to click on your profile and see exactly what they want. So if you do want to start doing weddings or elopements, try and show mostly that.
And don't be scared to delete photos that no longer serve your brand. A lot of times we get emotionally connected, invested in these photos, and so we don't want to delete them. You'll see these photos from shoots with old friends, and you would feel offensive if you deleted that photo of your friend, right? You don't want your friend to wonder why you deleted it. But I promise you, if you just rip it off like a band-aid, you will be so happy that you delete all your mediocre work so that you can leave more room for that work that really shows off your brand.
And if you don't want to delete something, you can always archive it so it doesn't completely delete it. It just goes to an archive folder, so that's always an option too if you really don't want to delete that photo. The most important thing when you're trying to put together a very consistent feed is to have very similar colors. So you don't have to post the same exact stuff all the time, but using a preset definitely helps by tying in all the colors together so that way it creates that cohesiveness that everyone looks for when they're making their Instagram feed.
And don't feel the need to post from every session. A lot of times we'll think, oh, I have a wedding this weekend, I need to post some content from that wedding. But maybe that wedding is at a really dark church. Maybe that dark vibe doesn't look good on your bright portfolio. So you don't need to post that, especially if you want to keep booking more brighter locations and you want to stay away from those darker locations.
Yeah, exactly. When we first moved here, we booked a lot of weddings that were either in churches or just weddings that really weren't our ideal wedding. And it's not that the wedding itself was bad, but we knew that if we kept posting that kind of stuff, we would only attract more of it. So instead of posting every single session that you do, if you're not completely in love with it, just put it on your website, put it on a blog post, maybe don't even share it at all. Just post the things that you want to attract.
All right, so tip number 2 is to show your personality. You can show your personality in so many ways on Instagram. And a common misconception is that you should only show your proper self, being really business oriented, and not really opening up those doors to your life. When in fact, opening up that door to be more personal with you, showing people what some of your passions and some of your hobbies are, is actually going to get you more bookings than simply posting wedding photos or family photos and just leaving it at that. A lot of people want to know who they're doing business with. So when they land on your Instagram, that's great if you have beautiful photos, but what else do? Do you play guitar on the side? Are you into rock climbing? Do you do skydiving? Are you into reading? Are you in a book club? Talk about what you do in your free time, because now you're gonna have a better chance to connect with somebody just like you.
Another great option is to link your personal account to your business account. So in our bio, we have our own personal accounts up there. So if anyone does want to go creep us and see what we do in our own free time, then they totally can. It's not like we're hiding anything. We don't post everything on our business page that we're doing. It's not because we're trying to hide things, but we also like to share that on our personal pages too. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to like put all of your stuff on your business page, you can always like link to your personal page, because most people are nosy and they want to see what you're up to anyways.
Pro tip, only show positive things, or at least try to strive for only posting positive things. Nobody really cares if you're stuck in traffic. Nobody really cares if your finances aren't doing that great, but people do care if you're watching a beautiful sunset, playing the bongos on the beach with your friends, or hammocking and reading a book. They do care about these positive hobbies that you're doing, but they don't want to hear about the negatives. Okay guys, now that we've talked about some theoretical tips, let's move on to some more technical stuff.
So tip number 3 that we have for you guys is to utilize Instagram's features. They put that there for a reason, especially if you have a business page, so let's dive into what they have to offer. The first feature that you guys can change right away is your subname. A lot of people will have just their regular name or their business name on there, which is fine, but when someone's looking on Instagram for a photographer, they're gonna be typing in San Diego wedding photographer or Seattle elopement photographer or blank city photographer. Do you understand what we're saying here? So if you put San Diego photographer, San Diego wedding photographer, whatever it may be, when someone's searching on the search bar for that, you have a better chance of popping up instead of someone looking for your business name. Because a lot of people probably aren't going to be searching for your business name unless they're specifically looking for you. But if they're searching San Diego elopement photographer, you have a better chance of coming up.
So the second feature you can take advantage of is hashtags. And hashtags are a great way to get more reach on your Instagram posts because you can use up to 30 hashtags on your post. Now, when we're saying use hashtags, I don't mean use hashtags that aren't going to reach your ideal clients. Some examples of some hashtags not to use if you're trying to book more photography clients are hashtag Canon or hashtag Nikon or hashtag Sigma 35mm. These hashtags are just being searched by other photographers. Instead, you're going to want to use more location-based hashtags based on where you live, and also some service-based hashtags based on what services you provide, and also a combination of service and location-based hashtags. We can do hashtag San Diego, hashtag photographer, hashtag San Diego photographer, hashtag San Diego wedding photographer, hashtag San Diego family photographer, hashtag Seattle elopement photographer. So
hashtags are super important because it gets you in front of an audience that you may not have reached to begin with. If you look at our analytics, you'll see that we get about 1/3 to half, depending on the photo, of new viewers that have seen our photo that may not have seen it otherwise. So the third feature that we have for you guys is to use your stories. This is so important, and it also ties back into showcasing your personality because this is a great way for you to engage with your viewers on a real-time basis. And if you think about it, the first thing that comes up when you scroll on your Instagram feed are the stories at the top. So if you're consistently posting your stories, people are gonna see your post up there. Meanwhile, they might not see it in their actual feed just due to Instagram's algorithm. So when you're using stories, you can showcase things such as what you're doing in your day, or behind the scenes of a wedding, or behind the scenes of an engagement session, or even sneak peeks from a session that you did. We love showing engagement sessions and weddings on our stories, and they can kind of see like a more full gallery instead of just a single photo that we post on our feed. So stories are a great way for you to stay fresh in people's minds and for them to see like what you're up to in your day-to-day life or just behind the scenes. So a pro tip that we have for you guys while using your stories is to take the time to decorate them. There's so many really cool apps that you can use to make your stories look super consistent with your brand. Some of our favorites that we use are Unfold, Canva. You can do even Procreate if you have an iPad to kind of like draw some cool stuff on there, or use InDesign. Whatever you want to use, just try and take the time because you want it to look visually appealing to your viewer and something that's a little bit different than what everyone else is doing. So that's definitely a pro tip to keep in mind.
Now, once you get a bunch of Instagram stories posted, you can start adding some of them to your highlight stories. We recommend picking the best of the best to add to highlight stories and categorizing them based on ways to add value to your current audience, or just a visually appealing way for them to consume your content. So for us as wedding and elopement photographers, we have a highlight story that's just for wedding and elopement photos, another one just for engagement photos. Then we also have another one that is for testimonials. So we'll have some screenshots in there of client testimonials, maybe text messages that they sent us saying that they really love their photos and they're excited to print them on their wall. That way future clients can see our Instagram stories on the highlight stories that show off what it's like to work with us. The fourth feature you can take advantage of is the link in your bio. You can put the link to your website, or you can use a software like Linktree to have multiple links that people can choose from. So some people will have the link to their website, the link to a blog post, the link to their blog homepage, maybe the link to their YouTube channel. It's up to you.
So when you have Linktree or something very similar, it just makes it a lot easier for your followers to get to where they want to go. So if a client wants to book with you and you have a section that says book with me or contact me or whatever it may be, it just makes it so much easier for them, and it has a higher chance of them actually reaching out to you, because people are lazy. They don't want to have to go through your website and search through this and search through that to get to where they're going. So just breaking it down into the links makes it a lot easier for them.
The fifth feature that you can take advantage of is locations. You want to tag locations that you took your photos in every one of your photos. If you don't tag the location, then you're missing out on a big opportunity for people that go to that location to see your work. The sixth feature to take advantage of is tags, who you end up tagging in your photos. Now you might be wondering, who should I be tagging in my photos? The best people to tag are people that your ideal client are already creeping. So if you're a wedding photographer and you're in San Diego, just like us, then you'll want to work with some wedding venues and some wedding florists and some wedding planners so that you can take some photos with them, with their work, tag them in this work, so that now people are going to see their work on your Instagram, and they're going to see your work on their Instagram. When they go to their tagged photos, they're going to see you.
This is also a great way to get featured on other accounts. So for example, if you tag a dress company, or if you tag a venue, or you tag maybe a feature account or something like The Knot or Wedding Wire, they may refeature you if they see your tag. So definitely try and tag at least the bridal dress, the hair and makeup people, and the venue if you can, because then the more reshares that you get, obviously the more people who are going to be seeing your work. So the fourth tip that we have for you guys for getting more clients on Instagram is to be more active. Don't be passive.
Right. So you might be wondering what the difference between being active and being passive is. So being passive is what a lot of us do. It's what we did when we first started. It's you post a photo and you just leave it. Post some hashtags and you just wait. And you're just wondering why you're not getting any inquiries. That's maybe gonna work, but it's a very passive way to do things. And when there's a million other photographers to compete with, we wanna make sure that we have our best foot forward. So instead of being passive, we can be active.
Another great tip to getting more engagement on your account too, speaking about being active, is to go over to your activity tab on your Instagram, and we'll show that on the screen, but go over to the activity, and what you'll do is you'll see the people who are on Instagram right now in the live feed. So by going on there, liking their photos, maybe leaving a comment like Steven was saying, they're gonna automatically go onto your profile and be like, oh, what are they up to? So that's a great way to get more engagement on your post as well.
So the fifth tip that we have for you guys is engage with vendors, okay? Follow the top vendors that you see around town. Do a quick Google search for the best photographer in your city, or the best wedding venue in your city, or the best wedding florist in your city, and follow the top 10 that you find. Also do a quick search on the hashtag bar. You could search hashtag San Diego florist or hashtag San Diego wedding venue, and then see which ones show up on the top and follow them and engage with them. Don't just comment something like, oh, love your venue or beautiful venue. Comment something like, wow, this is so gorgeous. Can I please put some of these photos on my highlight stories so that I can share your venue with future brides that might be on my profile? Or, wow, beautiful work. I would love to tour your venue one day so that I could do some Instagram videos that I can share with brides that I'm going to be booking with one day, so that they can also see your venue when you're making the decision. You're also going to want to comment on vendors' posts. So whenever you see a vendor post something, comment on it. Ask them a question. Say, oh wow, this is so cool that you're working on that. What inspired you to do this? Or, oh my gosh, congratulations on your new move. What made you want to move there? A genuine question will get a conversation started, and that way you're going to be able to get to know them on a more personal level instead of just being that business acquaintance on Instagram.
This is a great way to just build relationships in general with vendors, because a lot of people are busy during their normal day-to-day lives. So just engaging with them online is a great way for them to remember your name, And if they like your work, they might refer you to their clients and vice versa. When we first moved to San Diego and we didn't know anyone, we referred a couple other vendors that we've never even worked with before, but we really liked their work and we felt like their work like really aligned with our business. And in turn, we built really great friendships. We ended up meeting with them in real life and we ended up working with them. So even just like having that interaction online can just help sprout like a new friendship and like a new vendor relationship that you may not have had. And last but not least, the 6th tip that we have for you guys is to just be you, be authentic, just post what you want to post. Don't try and fit into like this cookie cutter mold of like what everyone else is doing. Just stay true to who you are, showcase your personality, showcase your work, and in turn, you will attract your ideal client by doing that.
Yep, Dr. Seuss said it better than anybody else. He said, "Today you are you. This is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you." So be you, because Dr. Seuss told you so.
So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully these tips are super helpful if you're a beginning photographer or even if you've been doing photography for a while. These small tips will help change your business and hopefully will lead to more clients booking with you through Instagram. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next time.